Linscomb for birdie at the 4th.
Second birdie of the day. Great start.
That would take her to 6 under. And Lexi Thompson, whom Linscomb beat in a playoff in the Bahamas to start the season. And that would take Lexi to 6 under par. At the top 12th, Michelle Wee without a bogey on her card in round 3.
Left hand flag stick at 12. Beautiful shot.
Throws that dart in there, makes birdie, gets to 6 under. Linscomb, third shot at the par 5 8th. Began the day at 4 under. And that would be her 5th birdie in her first 8 holes. Back at the 4th, Mi Rim Lee, twice a winner on the LPGA Tour. Lee, after a birdie at 3, would pull that one back to within near tap-in range. That would take her to 9 under, and as we update the board, it is Mi Rim Lee 2 under on her round today. Linscomb 5 under today. Lots of low scores today. The 16th hole is a par 4. They've moved up to being a drivable par 4. Just 250 yards. We have seen a 65 already. That came from So-Yeon Yu, 2011 U.S. Open champion. There's Michelle Wee. NB Park in with a 66. Star-studded field here in Southern California for the Kia Classic. Golf Channel and the LPGA Tour proudly present the season-long race to the CME Globe. From Carlsbad, California, it's third-round coverage of the Kia Classic. The LPGA Tour has been coming to this area for more than 60 years. We're just a couple of miles from the shores of the Pacific in the village by the sea, Carlsbad. For the 5th year, it has hosted this Kia Classic, this Park Hyatt Aviara Golf Club designed by Arnold Palmer some 25 years ago. Grant and Judy joined by Tom Abbott, and on the course, Jerry Foltz and Karen Stupples. Get you to the 8th, and a former Big Break winner, Jackie Stolting. Just 2 shots off the lead, and this was just moments ago.
She has to feel pretty good. She, whoa, I thought she made that, and I didn't know it.
That would have given her a share of the lead. Now Brittany Lincecum won off the lead.
That's from 110.
Is it the 13th? Oh, she's trying to hold it, Karen.
She's been hitting her weight as well.
Lincecum had a chance for her 6th birdie of the day. We'll go to the 7th, and Mi Rim Lee for birdie. Jerry's there.
Not a very good wedge shot to this point. Up and over the ridge in the green. It'll continue to turn right. Good speed there. Nicely done.
So Mo Martin hole one from a similar spot on the green just a little earlier. Let's go to the 9th. Karine Shea, the French woman, still looking for that first win. She's had more top 10s and top 5s than any player without a victory on the LPGA Tour. That one had a lot of break on it, didn't it? Let's go to the final hole.
And Michelle Wee, 4 shots off the lead. Good round going.
3-wood off the tee, water all the way down the right side, bunkers on the left.
Bogey free today, unable to birdie the short drivable 16th or the par 5 17th, but in good position at 18. Back at 7.
Christy Kerr, only player in the top 35 over par today, Jerry.
Yeah, still in search of her first birdie, but starting to hit greens now. That's a good sign. This one a little on the slow side.
was never really going to challenge, was it, that one? It's just a 4.
She remains 2 shots back. Let's take a look now at our final 2 groups, presented by JDX.
Hi, my name is MJ Her from South Korea, and my rookie year was 2009.
Hi, I'm Mo Martin. I'm from Southern California. While I was in college, I lived in Italy for 4 months, and I could read a newspaper by the time I left.
Hi, my name is Miriam Lee. I'm from South Korea. My first win was 2014 Maya Classic.
Hi, I'm Christy Kerr from Scottsdale, Arizona. I own and operate Kerr Cellars Winery, and I'm a professional golfer.
And a pretty good one. Mo Martin, 3rd shot at the par 5 8th. Two shots off the lead. Oh. A couple of feet away from getting to 9 under, the 2014 British Open champion.
The 13th, Brittany Lincecum to get back to 10 under.
Back up the hill, might want to move a bit right.
Oh, it's another missed one. She's missed quite a few makeable putts over the last 5 or 6 holes.
And at the 8th, MJ Her, a 3rd shot at this par 5. As pretty a golf course as they'll play all year, wouldn't you say, Judy?
Well, it's really a beautiful golf course, and it's even prettier because they had winter rains in Southern California, and everything is blooming.
Spins back. 2 good looks at birdie for our penultimate pairing of Martin and Her. Welcome to Carlsbad, the Kia Classic. Grant Boone and Hall of Fame member Judy Rankin. Judy, these are these tricky Poana greens, and we're seeing Miriam Lee, who contended 2 years ago, and a couple of seasoned veterans putting them well this week.
You know, I really think a big difference here on this golf course is who putts well. You can be a very good player, but you can really get lost on these greens. The long putts are very difficult to roll close. The greens are a little bit tricky to read. Christy Kerr is just an extraordinary putter. Miriam Lee can hold her own putting. Brittany Lincecum, kind of for the first 2 days, just kind of kept herself in it. But then earlier on today, she caught fire with the putter, and she is the kind of putter that I would call streaky. When she's good, and when she's bad, she's not so good. But now today's round is showing us with Lincecum that she's got a little bit of both of those things going on.
She likes this time of year. Next week at the A&A. 2-time champion there.
And she was spectacular when she won the first tournament of the season. She really played well.
Beat Lexi Thompson in the playoff in the Bahamas. And she is on the tee at this picturesque par 3 14th. I think she just told us she's hitting an 8.
She certainly did. And this hole...
Hit a shot. Keep these.
Really tricky with the wind today. It should be helping a hair, but this tee is so sheltered. Players really having to trust what's going on. This one is high and drawing left of the hole.
Safe. To the 18th, Michelle Wheat.
Yeah. I mean, maybe right edge of it. I mean, I think you kind of got like where the border cadenza is there. I think the left edge of that's where that kind of.
Okay.
But maybe the first key in the Kia there. Okay. Is where it goes left.
Oh, look at those greens hit. 16 out of 17, Judy. This has been the toughest green to hit all week, this 18th.
Well, it's imperative here that you put the ball in the fairway, because if you're playing from the rough, you're playing from the bunkers. Really tough.
Okay. We're seeing little glimpses, aren't we, of Michelle Wee, of the play?
Yeah, we are. And the style with her long shots is, I think, could be a little bit different. But, you know, Michelle's always liked to have something that stands out and that she can make work.
She's been standing out ever since She was 10 years old playing in LPGA Tour events. Her for the lead. Ooh, that was for a share of the lead, and that leaked quickly, didn't it? Is that some of the Poana effect?
Late in the day, Poana tends to, even though it's very little, it tends to bloom. And particularly when there's a lot of traffic and so on, if you're at the end of the field, it's tougher.
Today's coverage is brought to you. Look where she's aiming here. Oh boy!
How about that?
Well, for all of the struggles on the green the last few years, Michelle Wee rolls in one that takes a left turn on Interstate 5 and rolls in for a bogey-free 67, and Michelle Wee is part of the story here at the Kia Classic. She is 3 shots off the lead at 7 under.
What a putt.
To the 8th, Mo Martin for birdie. She won the British Open the year that Michelle Wee won the U.S. Open, and she is within 1 of the leader. At 14, Karen Stupples watching Brittany Lincecum.
This putt is kind of crazy, really slippery, quick from the back of this green, but she has to play it left of the hole and let fall down, almost taking right angle to the right as it gets down to the hole. That's got to go.
Yeah, and some of these breaks, you could just see with this putt, the ball is actually not moving forward. It's going sideways because the slopes are so severe.
Back to the 9th.
This is Jackie Stolting, a player who has never finished inside the top 50 of an LPGA event. And she has this to tie the lead. And it looks pretty good. Oh, what a front 9 from Jackie Stolting. Birdies at 4 and 5 and an 8 and 9. 10 under par, and she is tied at the top here at the Kia Classic.
This could be her big break, Tom.
I didn't quite get to finish my thought the first time we saw her. The reason I said she should be very happy is the first cut she has made this year.
Here's one of our co-leaders, Mirin Lee, at the 8th.
From just 91 yards after having driven it in trouble. Good layup to there and a good approach.
Ahead to 14 and the par putt of Lincecum.
There's still no bargain. This will break to the right. Never easy. Oh, handles it well though.
Back we go to 8. Third shot for Kerr.
That was a bit of a sketchy lie from 81 yards. Clipped it nicely.
Yeah. She could use a birdie. It's time now for our Volunteers of America tournament summary here at the 8th Kia Classic. Now, Christy Kerr, the leader coming into this 3rd round, looking for her first win since 2015 at the Tour Championship. She won right here at the Kia Classic earlier that year. 64 is our course record here at the Park Hyatt Aviara Golf Club. We've seen that threatened already today by So-Yeon Yu and NB Park. And how about this? Our defending champion, world #1 Lydia Ko, as well as Brooke Henderson, missing just the 2nd cut of their careers.
And
How surprised.
I think both of those players are struggling a bit with their putting, and if you're struggling with your putting, these are not the greens that you want to run into.
Well, we just saw with Brittany Lincecum. Brittany's not the first to have that happen. We've seen these greens make some really good players and good putters look silly.
Yeah, well, certainly we do from long distances, but once in a while it's not from real long distances. Very, very few straight putts.
What a story could be brewing here with Jackie Stolting. A couple of times off the Symetra Tour, looking for a first career victory. Mirin Lee looking for her 3rd. There's So-Yeon Yu's 65, and Michelle Wee with that left turn birdie putt at 18. A bogey-free 67. NB Park made an eagle at the par 4 15th. Shot 66. the Jatanagarn sisters. A little bit off the pace. Last week's winner, Anna Nordquist, made a triple bogey at the 18th yesterday, which included a double hit with her fourth shot. Vicky Peyun Chien having a nice week. Takahara Munoz had an ace, as did Moya Jatanagarn earlier this week.
Lexi Thompson has this for birdie at the 11th. Lexi making a nasty bogey on number 10. Dropped her back to 7 under. Still only 3 back. It's not going to stay high enough. Back over to the 9th hole and Mo Martin.
And you might take note from that previous shot before we got right on her that she is in the dead center of the fairway.
All right on it.
She knows what that feels like. That's all over it again. So 2 really good approaches from Mo Martin, almost knocking it in at the 8th and then again at the 9th.
Our co-leader Mirim Lee trying to get the outright lead here.
A little uphill here, turning slightly right. Really good putting stroke, Judy.
I noticed that. Really good putting stroke, really good golf swing. She's got all the mechanical stuff.
Big hitter too, right?
Big hitter.
Pounds in that par putt from 6 inches. Stays at 10, tied with Jackie Stolting. 4 players at 9 under. Christy Kerr began the day at 9 under. And she has this for birdie at the 8th.
And again, still in search of that first birdie, but she hasn't had a look as good as this one at one yet. Can't see it doing much at all. Maybe just falling a little left, very flat speed-wise. The kind of putt that when Christy's really feeling it, even on Poana greens, you'll see the walk toward the hole long before the ball goes in.
Yeah, Jerry, I think it turns that past the hole is the easier putt on this green today, isn't it?
Well, yeah, because you get the impression there's so much slope from the fairway down to the green that the green slopes toward the front of the green like most greens do. It's just an optical illusion. Once you get on the green, you realize it actually slopes front to back gently in most parts.
Christy Kerr gets her first birdie of the day, back to 9 under where she began the day. She's 1 shot back of Stolting and Lee. Round 3 in Carlsbad.
Back on the 9th green, 3rd round of the Kia Classic, MJ Herr to enter into a tie for the lead. MJ, usually a pretty good putter. I was talking to her caddy earlier this season, and he was saying she doesn't get down and line up too many putts. She's a bit like MB Park, just sort of feels the line and goes ahead and hits it.
Karini Shea, 3rd shot at the par 5 10th, 1 off the lead.
Front hole today.
One. Stop.
She'll have that to get to 10 under. 15.
2nd at this par 4 for Brittany Lincecum.
Is from 165, using her 6-iron. Hole location, hugging that right side of the green. Going to be tough for Brittany to get close.
Yeah, the right side tends to be a little more difficult. And when it's on the left side, it tends to run down towards the left on that 15th. Over at 9, Martin for birdie. See if she can get into a tie for the lead. No. Too tentative. You can understand. We've seen putts get away from players on these greens coming downhill. I think it's a pretty tough hole. 6th hardest hole on the golf course, Karen, in this 15th as we watch Lincecum's 3rd.
part of that, Tom, I think, is the drive. Big dogleg left, and you can run through a fairway right or left. That'll leave her a tester, though, coming back down the hill.
3 of the hardest holes on the golf course are on the back 9, so watch 12, 15, and 18.
Lincecum was making the biggest move this morning, going out at 5 under.
Well, we've got coverage of the WGC Dell Technologies Match Play Championship tomorrow, 9 a.m. on Golf Channel, the semifinals, and then 3 p.m. Eastern Time on NBC, the finals and the consolation match from Austin Country Club. Ever played there?
No, I have not, but I know so many people who do play there, who are members there, and they really love their golf course.
Well, your fellow World Golf Hall of Fame member Ben Crenshaw, of course, that's place that's so near and dear to him. Stolting and Lee at 10 under. Christy Kerr with a nice birdie at 8. Lincecum has stalled a bit. We've seen that. You mentioned the difficulty of the back 9. It's played over a stroke tougher than the front all week.
13th hole. Two-time major champion In-Ji Chun gets 9 under and within 1 of the lead. It's going to be a 4 for Chun, who had 3 birdies in a row from the 9th. Also birdied the 5th hole today. And we'll go ahead on this back 9 to the 15th. Area Jutanagan, the world number 2, playing alongside Brittany Lincecum. This for birdie.
Puts a really great roll on the ball. This one no exception.
Yeah, so that is what we've come to expect from Area. Quickly over to the 9th, Mirim Lee 2nd.
Just a little sand wedge and a first cut of rough, decent lie. Today's hole location, the easiest you can find on this green.
A little ball.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
I'm asking for it to come back. It's not quite high enough on the ridge there to come back towards the flag. We'll go ahead to Kalini Shea.
And this for a share of the lead. Multiple Solheim teams and long distances apart. 2002 and 2013, her next appearance 11 years later.
She's sort of a journeywoman in professional golf. A wife and a mom.
As is this woman.
U.S. Marines tending the flag here at the 9th, watching Christy Kerr.
Her second shot downhill line, 107 yards, plays much shorter than that. Breeze out of the right. Hit the last 2 wedges very good distance-wise. Something she has done extremely well all week.
It is the right yardage. That's just about where she wants to be. Christy trying to go out under par for the day. Putt will be for a birdie to get to 1 under. Brittany Lincecum now for a par. This was just
Set
a
up for
moment
it to go right.
She looked a little dubious on the back 9 on the shorter putts. You think it's confidence?
Well, I think her confidence is pretty fragile with the putter, but she set up way left. She knows the putt's going to go right, and I actually almost think she set up too far left where she didn't want to release the putter. She had it read correctly. She just did not do a good job of executing.
Left herself a little work to do, but she would hold that one for a bogey. So Lincecum back to 8 under par. Remember, she was at 10 under earlier in the round.
Hey, Melissa, the whales need your help.
I love it.
9th with Mirim Lee for birdie.
As you guys have seen already, pretty slippery from this angle, but not terrifying. Not a lot of break either.
And good putt from Mirim Lee. And that moves her to 11 under par, 1 in front of Jackie Stolting, who's had that breathtaking front 9. And now Christy Kerr for birdie. Needs to get things going on the back nine, which, looking at the scores today, Jerry, has been the tougher nine.
Yeah, she started on the last hole. This is a very good look. The putt you would want. Up the hill, very little break.
Oh. Well, I must say, I thought she had that one. Two behind. Started the day one ahead. Lance Corporal Charles Schaefer will be tending the flag. And that'll be his duty done for the day at the 9th. Final pairing making their way to the 10th. Christy Kerr may be a little bemused by that one.
And here's the third for Jackie Stolting. Now one behind Mi-Rim Lee. These are not automatic par 5. 10 and 17 on the back nine, Judy.
No, and we've seen some long hitters not birdie these par 5s or really have good birdie opportunities.
Here's a great look at the now drivable par 4 16th, and Arya Jatanagarn, we'll see with our top tracer technology, has an iron.
Does that make it ironable?
Oh.
I don't know.
250, and the recoil after that mighty lash.
Love that flight pattern, and she can just repeat that and repeat it and repeat it.
That'll be a putt for eagle. Arya Jatanagarn. And now Brittany Lincecum. She could do with a good drive here and give herself a chance at picking up one or maybe two. Two powerful players here.
This could be a 3-wood, but it actually could be even a little bit less than that. Hit very soft.
Does either have the advantage there from those sides?
I like, you know, I would like Aria's putt better.
So Arya probably will never lead the driving distance category because she hardly ever hits driver. As we look at Stolting, this for a share of the lead. What a story. Yeah, she's got a fan club working.
A little short, crisp putting stroke.
3 straight birdies for Jackie Stolting off the Symetra Tour. Third on that tour last year with a couple of wins. Looking for her first LPGA Tour title. Tied with Mi-Rim Lee, a little separation. Low scores today, round 3 at the Kia Classic. Some eagle pitches when we come back.
Green is just perched up on that right side.
She had the lead outright earlier today. She's now 3 shots behind, and she'll have an uphill putt for birdie in a moment. To the 10th, and Mo Martin with the 3rd shot at this par 5. You see she's 2 back.
A shot like this is her bread and butter.
Ooh. Tasty. She'll have that for a birdie to get to 10 under. That was bread and butter. Ahead to 11.
Karini Shea for birdie. A little tentative, but that's just a par for Karini. She's in a good position at the moment, 2 back. And the good form from these European players. Remember, a European winner last week, I would think, continues to make Captain Sorenstam happy in this Solheim Cup year as we go to the 16th.
Well, as explosive a player as there is on tour, if this goes in, Arya Jatanagarn gets to 8 under. This is an eagle attempt at 16.
Ooh, that was a good putt. Wonderful effort.
Well, Lydia Ko, world #1, missed the cut. Arya Jatanagarn cannot become #1 this week, but she could creep closer. 11.
Jackie Stolting's tee shot.
Oh,
that
no.
was a 6-iron,
Ooh.
but it stayed up.
It did. That, you know your luck is in when that happens. That was heading towards the water. The front hole location does bring that water right into play. Jackie may not know if that one is dry. And she's going to be pretty happy when she finds out.
Yeah, that's a ball that's supposed to kick straight right, and it kicked forward. Really fortunate. If she can make 3 out of this, just be glad for the break and go on.
Go and buy a lottery ticket. Jackie Stolting, who did have status on the LPGA in 2014, but chose to play the Symetra Tour before going to the LPGA a year later.
And that's Lincecum making the comebacker at 16, so she gets the shot back that she just dropped. She's back to 9 under. And now we are at the 10th, and MJ Her for eagle.
Yeah, I think a little bit afraid because it was not impossible that she could roll this ball all the way off the green.
Wins in 2009 and 2014 for MJ Her. 2 tied for the lead. Let's show you where we are. On the left coast, in the Golden State, and in Southern California, in between San Diego and Los Angeles. Just a 1.5 miles, 2 miles right off of the Pacific Park Hyatt Aviara Resort. And our course setup brought to you by the Golf Course Superintendents Association of America. This course opened 25 years ago, Judy, designed by Arnold Palmer.
Yeah, and a really wonderful golf course it is. Wonderful resort it is. I had dinner sitting next to Kevin Keenas last night, and one thing you learn about this place is everybody who has a hand in this place seems to really love what they do. It is par 72, just the traditional 36-36 each side, and you can see how gorgeous and green it is right now. Winter rains, a little bit of ryegrass overseed.
MJ Her for birdie. This to get to 10 under. If it won't go technically as a 3-putt, that'll feel like it, won't it, a little bit?
Absolutely. Players count it as a 3-putt. The stats may not, but players do.
Meanwhile, Mo Martin is lining up her putt for birdie. First, let's go to 15.
Sung-Hyun Park, the rookie, miss for birdie.
This is the 12th, actually. Beg your pardon, Tom. Good showing last year for Sung-Hyun Park. Kia Classic, finished 4th. And now Mo Martin. You mentioned this is her bread and butter, Judy. Even playing with powerful players, she'll lay it up, wedge it close, and often walk away with a lower score on a par 5.
She's one of the most amazing golfers I've ever seen at having that ability to play within herself. She does what she can do. She knows the kind of numbers she can shoot, and it bothers her not in the least that she's the first to play to the green.
She can't believe it. She's grown up in Southern California, familiar with Poana greens, and now Jackie Stolting at the 11th with the big break here to stay dry.
Well, I was going to say, after some good clean living, she's got a great lie as well, and that was a nice aggressive chip and well played.
Wasn't far away from chipping it in. Which would be a real bonus. That's going to be a 3. Make the 3 and move on after that tee shot. And we'll go back over to the 10th.
Might we remember that, Tom? Tomorrow, late in the afternoon, if Jackie Stolting has a chance to win. Mo Martin to stay 9 under. The lead is -11. Get you back into the fairway at this par 5 10th, and our final pairing, which includes our co-leader Mi-Rim Lee. Jerry Foltz is there.
Yeah, and waited for the green to clear. An outside chance of being it there, but it's going to take a pretty special 3-wood. Same club she hit off the tee. 243 fronts, 249 to the hole. Plays slightly uphill, but there is some helping breeze from the left. It is, however, a very narrow target to get it aboard. This is leaking toward the right center of the green. Good leave, though, Jude.
Yeah, just right in front. I don't know. It looks like 20 yards or so.
Up the hill at the 13th, second shot for Lexi Thompson. See, she's hit 11 of 12 greens today. And Lexi's 2 under for the round. Oh, doesn't need the spin. Got to be careful. That can actually come back quite a long way down the hill. Yeah, that's the danger. To 10.
Christy Kerr second.
That was within reach. Driver off the tee. 223 front edge. Good line.
Sit. Boy, good shot.
Sit. Stop. Stop. Stop.
You think if your tone changes, it makes a difference? Or?
We said she's one of the all-time great putters. The loudest barkers as well. Got that for Eagle.
Nice.
That will take her to 12 under if she makes it. To 11.
MJ Herr on the tee at the par 3. Martin has found the green. MJ looking a little concerned. That's heading right towards a hazard, and that does find the hazard. So Jackie Stolting was lucky. MJ Herr certainly not. 12.
And our co-leader Stolting and Karen Stupples is now there on hand.
Seen a lot of tough shots on this hole, hit the tree, fall down, but this one isn't going to be any problem for Jackie.
Yeah, that was a beautiful tee shot. It's a tee shot that you really cannot afford to lose to the right, and it is playing right uphill.
Well, after the ball finally obeyed Christy Kerr and came to rest at the 10th, Jerry, how about this putt for Eagle?
It's not a hard putt. I mean, it's lengthy, but not a lot of break. It's uphill the entire way. Initially, it's a little more severe of a hill than late, but it's still gently uphill the whole way, and one I would expect Christy to get up there in the stress-free birdie zone and maybe have a chance. But you don't hit a lot of pretty slow putts around here, Judy. You got greens with as much slope as they play all year long, rolling at near 12 on the stem meter.
Yeah.
So, Jerry, if the ball gets beyond the hole, though, does it not kind of want to run away from the hole?
Doesn't look like it to me unless my equilibrium's well off again. It's possible.
I'm going to trust you. You're standing there.
Just based on Mi-Rim Lee's chip shot that continued to turn to the right in the direction of where Christie's ball is, I don't think it runs away.
This is an artist at work, isn't it? We see her reading the greens. You say she's as good as there's ever been?
I think she's an excellent green reader. She has a great sense of slope, and she has a great sense of distance.
Nobody else walks in more putts, and that is a sign of complete confidence in reading them properly.
Sit. 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 Jesus. Wow. Good read.
Speaking of someone who reads the greens really well, she may disagree with that one.
17.
Third shot for Brittany Lincecum at the par 5. It's one of the longest par 5s all year on the LPGA. 570 yards on the card.
Boy, I thought that was really good swing from Brittany Lincecum. She just made a swing that she wasn't fighting, hitting that ball left at all. It was good looking.
And we're back over to the 12th.
Karini Shea to get to 10 under. It seems like she's had a half dozen of these to get to 10 under par. Wouldn't really call this a especially makeable birdie attempt, but at the 12th, if you got that left for par, it's not bad, is it?
12 is a giant green in its own right, and then it shares the putting surface with the 15th green, so a double green that's really big.
So after we set up Christy Kerr as the great green reader, and then she dogs herself after that first attempt, she's got this for birdie.
And she just did something I rarely see out of her. She stuck her hands out in almost complete confusion over what she thinks this one is going to do. But what she will do, even if she's unsure, she will commit to a line.
Maybe an error, but never in doubt.
Exactly. It's got to move a little right. Well, it's right in the middle.
I was just going to be hard not to pick her if you had a 5-footer of great importance and you could choose someone to putt it.
I'll take Envy Park.
Well, there's a number of players you might take, but Christy Kerr is on that list.
Yeah, and as we said, not just currently, but historically as well. All right, Mi Rim Lee after that clever little pitch shot to this point. This for the outright lead.
The right side is the high side, but there is very little movement. This is the putt that Mo Martin missed on the high side.
Ooh.
There you go.
Curls in the left arc. Mo Martin was agape after hers missed on the high side. Mi Rim Lee grinning as she heads to 11 at 12 under. One more look here. Welcome to Poana Greens, bumpity bump, and into the hole. And Mi Rim Lee looking for her third career LPGA Tour title. Inches ahead of Jackie Stolting, Christy Kerr with a birdie at 10.
Ever since we first opened our...
Shot off the lead, Jackie Stelting, second shot at 12. Karen Stupples is there.
From 145, wind slightly helping. Flag tucked all the way on the left side. Tough to get it all the way as far left as it's situated. That probably going to leave her in a nice spot.
Yeah, good shot, and I think that's not a difficult putt, just a little bit of a right to left putt.
I said Stelting. Stolting will have that for birdie and a share to 17.
Lincecum for birdie. Get it back to 10 under. She's a player that just goes ahead and plays golf, doesn't really think about it too much, doesn't really understand or want to understand the golf swing too much. And it's just a pretty simple way of doing it.
Let's take a look at this drivable 16th in Ji Chun with our top tracer technology.
Beautiful swinger.
Yeah.
Goes at it with her driver here, and I think her driver is plenty. Just about fluid on the green.
Behind the hole for eagle for In Ji Chun. A record for men or women, 21 under par last year at Evian in a major championship. 11.
Problems for MJ Her. We saw her tee shot go into the water. It took a little while to figure out where she was going to drop it, and that's actually a really good bogey in the end for MJ Her. Drops her back to 8 under. First bogey of the day for the two-time LPGA winner.
Huge week. A lot of stars here this week getting ready for the first major championship of the season. Time for someone to make that historic leap into Poppy's Pond. It's the A&A Inspiration, begins Thursday at noon and then again at 7 p.m.
Yeah, looking forward to heading over the mountains to Rancho Mirage next week. Players still trying to play their way into the field next week. Mi Rim Lee and Christy Kerr don't have to worry. Jackie Stolting is one of those players that is not yet in the field. Mi Rim Lee now.
That was a 7-iron playing down breeze. That is left and looks to be long a little bit.
Left and long is better than right and short, though.
Good point.
We've seen a few in the water today, Jerry.
Yeah, well, the wind's swirling, and you just really aren't sure what it's doing when you get over the ball.
13th hole, Sung Hyun Park to get to 9 under. Player who won 7 times on the Korean LPGA last year. Highly touted rookie. Beginning of the season, folks that follow the ladies' game were saying that was the player to watch in terms of the rookie class.
At 12, we have this birdie attempt for a share of the lead for Stolting. Karen, do you remember that first time in contention on the LPGA Tour? The feelings, the emotions?
It was pretty crazy. I was playing so well that it really didn't even occur to me what was happening until the walk up to the very last green. So I guess what you can take from that is you are so in the moment when you're playing well that you don't really notice what's going on.
Look at that run out, just a little extra foot or two.
Yeah, we're seeing too many putts missed too far on the low side of the hole. That's when they get away from you.
Christy Kerr now.
Also a 7-iron for Christy. Took a fair bit of time deciding on what she was going to do. When she does miss an iron shot, it's typically the fan right. Hands don't quite catch up. That is a scary proposition here, but she hasn't missed many this week.
Oh, leaning like it's going right.
It is. Needs the carry.
Go.
And it doesn't.
Did it go in the water?
It did, Christy.
Did it go in the water?
Yes, it did. She can't believe it.
You know, she's a player of so much experience and has played under so much pressure. And one thing you have to know with a hole like this and the hole location where it is today is you can't miss to the right. It's simple enough. If you're long, you're okay. If you're left, you're okay, but you can't miss to the right.
Now I've got to figure out where the ball went in. And I think it's going to be on that little area that juts out just ahead of where it entered the hazard. Now to 18.
And 3 shots off the lead, Brittany Lincecum. This daunting tee shot, Judy.
Well, she showed you with her setup right there what her natural shot is. She sets up always well to the right. She turns the ball very easily from right to left, and that's second nature to her.
Karen, this is rolled out for Jackie Stolting, a good 4 feet past the hole for par.
And it is cliche to say, but at least she knows what this putt will do, having seen it roll this way to past the hole.
She avoids the water at 11, makes par, safely in with par at 12. Christy Kerr did not avoid the water. She'll be hitting a 3rd shot here shortly at the 11th. 17 LPGA Tour calendar, and Mi Rim Lee, 26-year-old, looking for her 3rd title, and the veteran Christy Kerr with a 3rd shot at the 11th.
Likely not going to be able to land this on the green, Tom.
Now tried to run it up there and actually got the pace pretty much spot on, just a little off with the line.
Yeah, handy little shot there, just a low spinner.
Nothing like the shot from Phil Mickelson that I saw at the match play where he ran it up the hill. That was quite spectacular. Did you see that one, Judy?
I didn't see that one.
You've got to see it. You've got to see it. To 16.
In-Ji Chun drove the green at this short 16th. First putt to this point. This for birdie. Yes. Rookie of the year last year. Major champion. 5 birdies today. Just 3 shots off the lead. There are a lot of players with a chance here, and they're all chasing this woman, Mi Rim Lee, at the 11th.
Jerry, you've got to get the pace correct here coming down the hill.
It doesn't look easy. It looks like a bit of a slider to the right early as well, and just past the hole it could certainly run off quickly. One thing you notice about people with long, smooth strokes, they typically don't struggle with speed that much.
This would be 3 birdies in a row. Tough to get it to stay above the hole. But now she has a putt coming straight back up the hill for the par. And we're going to go ahead to the 18th hole.
Ariya Jutanugarn playing with Brittany Lincecum. She's 5 shots off the lead. How far is too far back for Ariya Jutanugarn on a Sunday, Judy?
Well, 5's not too far back.
location back right. Michelle, we made a putt from a similar spot that turned almost 90 degrees left, didn't it?
I was going to say it must have turned 8 feet.
Michelle, we shot 67, bogey free. Harry Jatanagarn will have that putt for birdie. There's that Kia Cadenza. And now just left of the fairway, Brittany Lincecum had the lead to herself earlier in this third round. Now 3 back.
Down. Sit.
Could be awkward.
Christy Kerr saves bogey at the 11th, drops her back to 9 under.
Remember the bogey save at 9 yesterday, her last hole of the day, of about that length?
San Hyun Park just missing her birdie putt. Back over to the 11th, and Mirim Lee should be fairly simple this one, Jerry.
Yeah, doesn't look like there's too much there. I actually think she was a little further away than Christy. Good 4 feet.
Good 3 today on the 11th, which is not an easy par 3 with that water creeping in on the right. Mirim Lee leads by 1, trying to win for the 3rd time on the LPGA Tour. Jackie Stolting trying to win for the 1st time.
Yeah. I like the full 9 here.
Yeah, I do.
4.
Husband Travis Stolting on the bag.
Has a decent line in the rough. 118 to the hole. Does place about 6 yards uphill. There is a little bit of breeze. Feels like it's helping here, but the clouds say it's just from the left.
Oh, it's going to come all the way back down.
And I think, you know, it's very difficult judging that wind. It really felt like it was helping, but when you look at the clouds, it's more across and maybe slightly hurting.
Yeah, that was a full club short.
And it is severely uphill as well.
At the 12th, this is our penultimate pairing of the day. Mo Martin and MJ Herr. Mo Martin grew up in Altadena, born in Altadena, California, in the shadow of the Rose Bowl. And she's got the cheering section. Go Mo. Lots of friends and family out here watching. Southern California kid, went to UCLA. And she's got this to get to 10 under par. Shot 66 on day 1.
If she's a little bit new to you, if you haven't watched Mo Martin over the years, one of the interesting facts is, and the whole time she was at UCLA, and until very shortly before the ban came for a long and anchored putter, it was the only way she had ever putted. And when she decided to make the change, she simply decided to make the change. She didn't obsess about it. She didn't worry too much about it, and she's been an excellent putter with a traditional putter.
Oh, that was an excellent putt.
She could have made me look good if that would have gone in, no?
You set her up beautifully.
Oh. No, but you know, where a lot of people felt like that was a change that was going to be career changing, she just said, that's what the rules are now, so we'll make that move.
Mirim Lee on the tee. How about this tee shot, Jerry?
Started out perfect. Right.
Carve it on that tree on the right. Lee is our leader by 1.
See that stake left to the white?
Yes.
Remaining it.
Yeah, good.
Get you head to the 18th, and this is the birdie attempt from left, back and left for Lincecum.
It's tough when you have a breaking putt and you have to putt over a lot of fringe.
She
Not
really
bad.
hit that hard, didn't she, to get it through the fringe?
Not bad.
Back on the tee at 12, and Christy Kerr salvaging bogey after going into water at 11. Has not hit it great today, has she?
No, she has not. She missed a few greens early in the day, and that's not her normal MO when her game is pretty well on. She really turns through the shot and makes a practice swing to swing the club left because of that kind of high right finish that is the shot we saw at 11.
A spectacular 18th hole here at Park Hyatt Aviara. Area Jitanagarn, with her first putt coming to rest at this point, has this for par. Seven under for the tournament. Number 2 in the world, number 1 in the world, and the defending champion Lydia Ko missed the cut for just the second time in her career, missed it by 1. So a 74 in round 1 for Area Jitanagarn, but she's come back with 67, 68, and let's see what Mi-Rim Lee does on some of these tough closing holes to see how far back Jitanagarn will be.
Area was 4 rounds in the 60s last week and a tie for second.
Well, she's leading the season-long Player of the Year points race, and she hasn't won. Lincecum cozies that one in. And she shoots 67. And she figures to be a factor. Trying to win for the second time this year.
This is Jackie Stalding's third shot. Karen Austin Ernst played a similar shot just a moment ago.
Austin played it really well. This just quite heavy-handed.
So that is not going to find the green, and still she'll have some work to do. She may be able to get a drop away from that sprinkler, but looks like she's not going to putt it, going to chip it. Fourth shot.
Whatever a player is most comfortable with, Tom.
Whoa, sit down.
Well, that was all ball.
I think she just hurried that. Just rushed through the thought process and didn't give herself a chance. That has to stop her.
Oh, no.
Is that ball going to stop?
It's still going.
No, it's not. It's going to... Oh, maybe.
Oh, it has.
Ooh, it's right on the edge. Might want to get up there and play it pretty quickly. And Jackie Stalding. Things are starting to go wrong for Jackie at the 13th. One back, which is going to drop a couple of shots most likely.
Now 3 shots back, second shot at 12. Jerry Foltz is there.
132 yards, little 9-iron down breeze.
You can see that flag on the left in the shadows. Not on the green, but really good.
Dancing along that fringe. 13.
Jackie Stalding's 5th shot now. This will be a pretty good bogey. It is going to be a double bogey for Jackie Stalding. All came down to that second shot, just misjudging it. To 12.
Our leader, Mi-Rim Lee, second shot.
Pitching wedge here from just 123 on a great line. Or don't spin.
Mi-Rim Lee will have that hit again to increase her lead to 2.
Check in with In-Ji Chun at the 17th, coming off birdie at the short 16th. In-Ji 3 back. A chance to get it to 10 under par.
Young golfers from around the country will realize a dream when they compete at Augusta National. Don't miss the Drive, Chip, and Putt National Final Sunday, April 2nd, 8 a.m. Eastern. A great way to kick off Masters Week. Well, this has been a tour for the youngsters the last couple of years, but the veteran Christy Kerr leading coming into round 3. San Diego's been good to the LPGA. First came here back 60 some odd years ago. You played here back in the 1970s.
Yeah, that's right. San Diego has been good to the LPGA. The whole state of California has been good to the LPGA, and I guess thanks to the state, we go to our first major championship of the season next week in this state.
Christy Kerr won her first of 18 events in the state of California up in Sacramento. Jerry, for birdie here.
And a little bit slippery here. You mentioned those 18 events, a couple majors, and deep in her mind, almost always, Judy, she doesn't talk about it much, but she does mention it every time she gets in contention, is just notching 1 point closer to the LPGA Hall of Fame, which is a completely objective Hall of Fame, getting 27 points.
Yeah, we've had some discussions about that actually this morning, and this is a Hall of Fame quality player.
No question.
Oh, boy. A Hall of Fame putt. So think about the bogey save at 11 after the tee shot in the water, comes back and birdies the tough 12th, and Christy Kerr back at 10 under and alone in second place. Well, Jerry mentioned it. Judy, you said you think she's Hall of Fame caliber. The LPGA Hall of Fame is a 27-point minimum to get in and a 10-year minimum, which is why Lorena Ochoa is just now getting in this year. There is that other way to get in. You were the first to be elected via the veterans category, and whether she gets the points or not, she's a Hall of Fame player, isn't she?
Well, she is, and I think sometimes when you see a career like this and the longevity of the career, you think maybe all things aren't the way they should be. I am one proponent of a Hall of Fame celebrating your sport, celebrating the people who are important in the sport. Not every single one of them is a great player, but that's one person's opinion.
Well, Jerry, Christy Kerr's a Solheim Cup veteran. That was a little match play right there. She was outside of her but made the putt, and Miriam Lee didn't. And so Lee is now 2 ahead of her fellow competitor Kerr, who chased her down from 3 back on Sunday to win here 2 years ago. 13.
There's thick blades in front of it.
So it should like, if a touch, not as steep, just a millimeter left of the hole, it's a little bit not as steep.
Okay.
Okay.
Craig Castrali on the bag for Mo Martin. Mo missing a fairway, a rarity.
This is tough now because the ball doesn't complete its entire arc. It's so straight uphill, and this is a ball that probably will not stop when it hits the ground.
4th fairway missed this week. She did make par on the previous 3 where she missed the fairway. As enough to get up onto the green. If it's going to stay there, it does. Now that is a good play, a sensible play from Mo Martin, muscling it up there.
Well, earlier this week, we spoke with Mo Martin about coming back and having what amounts to a home week here at the Kia Classic.
I think just the support elevates the experience, and then simply being in California is a big deal for me. I grew up in LA. My family's been in California for 6 generations, so I've probably got more relatives than I can imagine here. But just, you know, my trainer's here, my club fitter's here, putting coach is around, just had a great couple days with him, so family's going to come down this weekend, so it's just going to be overall a great experience. We've had quite a bit of rain in California, so everything's lush. Fairways are lush, but that means the rough's going to be lush as well. And the greens have got quite a bit of slope to them. So, I mean, the Poana on the greens in the afternoon can be a challenge, and then you've got to hit fairways here. You've got to work the ball in a couple holes. You even have to separate the fairway. You know, you have to be in halves of it, too. So, I mean, it's it doesn't give you much, this golf course, and I like that about it.
Well, the putting coach she mentioned is Jamie Mulligan, and I will just tell you that Mo Martin is a pretty intelligent young woman, and she's kind of analytical, but she's not analytical to the point of it paralyzing her golf game.
Take a look here. Top 8 qualify on points, then the next 2 come from the Rolex World Rankings, and then Julie Inkster, playing this week, by the way, and making the cut, will have 2 captain's picks. 17.
Inji Chun for a birdie. If she were to win here, it'd be the first non-major win on the LPGA Tour for Inji Chun. First 2 victories were majors. The first of which was the US Women's Open, the second the Evian Championship. And she's at 10 under.
No, we never cleaned it.
Going to go to tee at number 13, and it is a dogleg to the right. Can't play with a dirty golf ball.
That's the joy of having a caddy.
Well, apparently not, because he didn't clean the ball.
Well, I find these days that if I do play a little bit of golf, that's one of the things that's very interesting.
Yes, great. It's perfect.
Quirky little hole here, Tom. Dogleg left sharply, about 80 degrees. 230 to carry the corner on the left. The problem is everything runs and bounces right. So it's I mean, for a short little innocuous hole where nobody hits driver typically, it's a hard fairway to hit, even though it's relatively wide.
Yeah, got a good angle there. You can see the fairway running from left to right on a hole that doglegs from right to left. No need to get too greedy.
Goodness.
Not a good strike by Christie's commentary.
Yeah, it'll stay short of running through.
Yeah. Right now. Yeah.
Pretty good position, actually.
Just left over ball.
Yeah.
Captain caddy John Colleen on the bag for Mirin Lee.
John Colleen, a pretty cool, calm, and collected, very laid-back guy. And Mirin doesn't seem to get too overly stressed. I remember when she won in 2014, the first tournament, the Meyer Classic. Obviously, her English was a little more challenged than we expected. Such great things from her. We'd heard so much from the other people more familiar with her career to that point. She got another win that year, but hasn't done it again since. Now she's starting to play the kind of golf I think we've long expected.
Well, she's powerful. The swing is good. Like I said, mechanically, she's a very sound player. So it's just a matter of figuring out how you're going to deal with the mental side of this tour play.
Figured it out so far. She leads by 2.